what boot camp's really like, because the recruiters don't tell you that. And I get off the bus, took a train, then a bus. Here I am in Parris Island, South Carolina, and one of the largest platoons of women to go through boot camp there were 120 of us in our platoon. So it took 2 squad bays because they couldn't all fit in one. And Sergeant Alexander, she was a master sergeant, and she was in charge of the women Marines. The first thing she did when I got off the bus was she said, "You, dear, you're going to be the first one to get your hair cut and get a permanent." I said, "Oh, no, I curl my hair." She said, "No, those days are over. We don't have time for that. We're going to give you a nice permanent." Never had a permanent my whole life. But anyway, I got a permanent because that's what Sergeant Alexander wanted. Overweight. In fact, I still am. But those days, I was probably going into a size 16. And she also informed me, Private Ruff, you are on the chubby platoon. I went, "The chubby platoon?" She said, "Yes, you're overweight. So therefore, you will eat exactly what is published on the menu. Not anything that isn't listed. You cannot have it." I thought, oh dear. She said, "Well," so I looked at the menu, and I memorized it. They published it for the whole week. And Sergeant Alexander took great delight in saying, "Private Ruff, what are we going to have for dinner tonight?" And I could recite everything on that menu. Because, of course, there was no things like sweets, very little fruit, actually, a lot of vegetables, a little meat, a lot of exercise. I went in a size 14, almost a 16, and I got out of boot camp 3 months later, of course, June, July, and August, remember, a size 7. They had to issue me all new uniforms. If you gain weight, you got to buy them. If you lose weight, they will issue you all new ones. My mother and father came down, and when I graduated from boot camp, and I introduced him to the drill instructor. His name was Sergeant Kilpatrick. He was about 6 foot fluff. We were standing at attention. We were having inspection. And I noticed my shoe wasn't tied, so I bent over and tied my shoe. Well, you don't do that. He said, "Private Ruff, what do you think you're doing?" "Sir, my shoe's untied." "Private Ruff, I hate that I'm a drill instructor for women. My wife hates that I'm a drill instructor for women. And quite frankly, Private Ruff, you'll be punished for that. But in the meantime, I want to tell you, every woman Marine wore a girdle." He said, "Private Ruff, when I give to the rear march, you make me seasick with that sway. So from now on, you're going to wear 2 girdles. June, July, and August, 2 girdles. And whatever I did, tied my shoe, I had to duck walk around the drill field. So you can see why I wound up a size 7